Welcome to Boggy Creek Life. I am Cam Boggs. Returning subscribers, thank you as always. So the other day I was having me a scroll on eBay there, the Evil Bay, just looking model kit, seeing what was going on. And I came across a couple of these and I was thinking, wow, these are like the price of an X Plus model. Is what I was thinking. And I know that X Pluses kind of became like the mass-produced standard of figure models today, at least in 1A. Well, like I said, mass-produced. So, but what I've got here is a 30-year-old Horizon Creature from the Black Lagoon kit that could cost just as much. And so, I guess the question is, are you getting the same level of quality, or are you paying for collectability? Might be kind of both. But let's go ahead and take a look at what you're actually getting here. So first off, you've got the box, and Horizon did this really, really well. You got nice bright colors. Mine, I got mine a little while ago, a couple of years ago, but I've kept it in a box. So yeah, they did this really well. It's got a classic monster feel to it. Nice build up on the front. Nice, bright, eye-catching colors. Nice build-up on the back. Good box, because I keep saying I always love a good box. And I got lucky with this one because it still had the goodies in it. Now, these are not produced anymore. So if you get one of these, you're going to end up getting it off a private seller. And you might not always get this. Like when I was on eBay, I saw that they just had one like kind of put together with a leg off of it. You didn't get a box or anything. But I do love the history part. You get this old business reply card and no email address, no nothing like that. It just ask you questions on it. And then the directions. Of course, the directions. These are in outstanding shape except for a little curvy. You open it up, it's got your parts checklist there. Tells you how to cut the vinyl, gluing, painting instructions, colors, iridescent gold for probably his belly. Shows you where all the pieces fit together. I mean, it's really kind of in depth, and it'll tell you what tools you need. Hobby knife, hair dryer, crazy glue. I ain't heard of that one in a while. Acrylic paint, and it says, directed by Jack Arnold, starring Ben Chapman as a creature. Let us not forget Rico Browning, the underwater creature, please. Okay. But yeah, nice directions, and it's also kind of friendly to the person that's never done it before. All right, so then let's get to the kit. All right, now this is some old school vinyl. All right. And right away you can see the sculpt. You can see the detail. The texture in it. Beautifully done. The fins, the head. I would say pretty spot on likeness. The presence, this thing holds up, The stomach, the scales once again, the fins. Now the creature itself, it was sculpted by Toshiro Kia. Now, he ain't going for like Hollywood on this baby, like the leg here. You won't see no zippers or nothing like that sculpted in there. To me, this feels more like a living, breathing creature. What it would look like. The hands. The detail of it. Mine may be a little too curvy. But that's the beautiful thing about this. Is you can customize this, heat it up, fix it easily. But yeah, that's kind of where this kit separates is how it's built. Now, this ain't your modern 3D printed kit or like some really well fitted to stick together plastic kit. The vinyl you're dealing with, you gotta heat this stuff, you gotta trim this stuff. Look at it, beautifully done. You gotta putty this stuff, you gotta do a little sculpting, maybe even, it all depends on how you want to get into it there. And you may even have to reinforce it to hold its form over time. All these things you got to take into consideration. So basically, the process is the difference, and that's either going to appeal to you or it's not. But it's also where the kit kind of opens up, Detail of his arm there. It's going to hold all your washes, even some dry brushing, however you want to do this. This is beautifully done. But because it's vinyl, it's actually, to me, easier to modify and custom. So, no zipper there. Now, it does look like a little sleeve, maybe. Could be some skin, though. Could be some skin. But in my opinion, something like this is way more easier to customize than rigid plastic. Just my opinion. So you're not just assembling this, though. You're working on it. You're shaping it, and to me, that's where it gets interesting. That's where it gets interesting. Now, if you take a look over here, real quick, we also have there was also an add-on piece, an extra basic figure that was sculpted by Bruce Turner, and it was released separately. So even beyond what's in the box, there's already room to expand upon this. And I can't really imagine him standing by himself. Not saying that wouldn't be great just for me. I would have to complete some kind of scene. Now, if you don't have this kit and this is interesting you in this kit and hunting it down, let it be known you have a very, very good hunt in front of you trying to find that Julie Adams piece right there, because I don't think I've ever seen anybody selling one. So now you're not just looking at a kit, you're looking at a starting point if you want it to be for something greater, And that's where we come back to the price, because even though this can cost as much as an X Plus kit, I think what you're paying for is something completely different. It's, besides the beautifully sculpted piece, you're paying for an opportunity to make it even more. And now looking at this in person, this thing absolutely holds its own. All the pieces are beautifully sculpted. And at this scale, with the right build, you could push this thing as far as it can go. The sky's the limit. So what it really comes down to is, it's like, how you like to build. What do you want to get out of it? How much do you want to get hands on, get your hands dirty? Because if you're looking at something that just like fits together flawlessly and you need a little putty here and a little sand in there, this might not be for you. But if you're wanting something that you can shape and refine and change if you want, this is where this starts to make sense, because this just ain't a kit anymore. This is a process. These vinyl models, they're like my favorite. They're like my favorite, and just for that reason. But whether it's worth it or not, that's depends on what you want out of it. Really, in my opinion. So I would say to this day, I saw it for, I think the top one was $80, and the 60 was the unboxed one. In my opinion, yes, if you want to go this little extra mile, it is definitely worth it. All right. let's get you guys out of here. All right, so thank you guys for stopping by and checking out a kit from the past with me. In my opinion, it's a solid kit, still holds its own today. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you as always, like I said earlier. And if you stuck around this far and you're into this kind of thing and you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, it really helps the channel out. I've still got to finish Ed Harley's props and the base. I had to put the grass and stuff on it. And that's about all that's going on at the creek right now. I got some really cool kits that I look forward to making some more videos for you guys. That's about it. So be good to each other. Model on.